Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Star Wars The Clone Wars. Republic Heroes? Is that the name? I kind of need the name told to me in the menu. It's such a long name. We're in this level. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. We finished. There's these two elements. Am I supposed to jump over here? Yeah.
The day won't come when the droid army can outfight us without a 10-to-1 advantage. 20-to-1! I'm in!
Bring up the last minutes before the crash.
Right away, General.
We've actually seen instances where the game has pointed you to where you're supposed to go, but just then, and really in only one instance has it ever actually pointed you. In fact, we're seeing the icon right now behind the Jedi blue lady, pointing you where it's supposed to, where you should be, but that icon wasn't there.
Is it possible one of those weapons caused all this? If it did, you can bet our
See, there's the icon, but that icon wasn't there before. At least I didn't see it.
Just a few minutes ago.
Ventress. What's that Sith witch doing here?
Records show she's activating the ship's self-destruct.
Don't wait for us. We're right behind you.
Okay, rocket jockey.
So we now have the name of this bad Sith lady, which we've been seeing cutscenes with her for quite a while. Somebody needed to say her name. Maybe somebody did and I just didn't catch it. Count Dooku may have said it. They're barely even saying Count Dooku's name. This really isn't a game for people who haven't watched the Clone Wars TV series in completion. And honestly, I don't think it's even a very good game if you did love the Clone Wars.
Not mine, but I am here to clean up any loose ends. I think I'll start by killing you.
So, double lightsabers, and she doesn't seem to actually be blocking me. This is a cool idea, I suppose, in the idea of having two Jedi fight one Sith at the same time, but it's something we've certainly seen before. I am again fighting as the blue lady, and it's just switching us back and forth with no indication or reason or rhyme. So half the time you could easily be confused. And this is really easy. Like, there's no cheat. Maybe I'm doing like maximum damage right now, but that seems really easy. And I assume what we're supposed to be doing is... I thought I was going to use the Force, but instead we're going to use these we're going to use droids to blow up the cavern around her.
My fury will destroy you.
And the second time you do it really quickly, or you can.
We must report this to the Jedi Council immediately. Commander, I need a scramble.
How about you either go use your lightsaber that can cut through anything to cut through those rocks and make sure you chop her into little bits, or cut off her head and take it with you. Because I feel like there's not much of a confirmation here of that she died. Of course, I guess this is a kid's show, so you wouldn't want to actually do something so gruesome. It's a trap. The entire fight, 1 minute 38 seconds. And you got platinum this time for 140 points. I don't know how I got 140 points. When the last boss fight, I got exactly 0 points. It seemed like there was no way to get any points. And I got bronze. So, is there a timing mechanism to these boss fights? Maybe? And there's a bounty hunter. I don't know his name though.
Where are we?
You're my prisoners, and if you want to stay healthy, you'd better do exactly as I say. Got it?
Bounty hunter scum. You
So
won't
now
get away
we're
with this.
starting with
I
a
have, soldier boy. And
a
as soon
new
as you come over to support
storyline.
My ship, I'll be on my way. A places to be, you know.
and it really does feel like they're trying to tell at least 3 seasons of
Just
Clone
this prize
of the
must be
Clone
more
Wars
valuable than I
cartoon.
thought. Don't worry, those droids are nothing we can't handle.
We?
This is a detonator.
For what? Explosive charges in our binders.
So clones are smarter than droids after all. Let's see just how smart. On your feet. I'm going to release the link on your binders.
So
If you
it
try and
feels
get funny, I'll blow you to pieces.
it feels like
Those droids
these
get me in my
two
crate,
clone
I blow you to
troopers
pieces.
do have
If
the
you try
same
to shoot
face,
me,
You blow us to pieces. We get the
but
picture.
one's scarred and has
if
a
you
different
get my
haircut.
crate past those droids and safely aboard my ship, you live. Your weapons are right over there. Now, do we have a deal?
How can we refuse?
Clones, blast them!
Looks like they brought the whole army. Someone really must want you dead, Bane.
They want us all dead. Won't last 5 minutes unless we can get that hangar door closed.
Big head's right. Better close that door.
Maybe you clones are smarter than you look.
Blast everything
So
without a heartbeat.
he's Cad Bane, and I'm trying to hack this, and it's not working because they're knocking me out. It's knocking me out of the way.
I have superior firepower.
And apparently now I have like the minigun.
Send them to the Dupa. Leave the fighting to the professionals.
Now let's try this again. And like it's not working. What am I supposed to do? So do I hold down the Y? I haven't used this machine gun yet. Come on, how do I collect this artifact? I'm about to die. Apparently he's on our side. Come on. I guess I have to punch those bricks. This is not working well at all. I want to run over here, grab this, and then get all of these people. And will that get me enough time now that I can hit this, do this really quickly, and then do this really quickly, and then do this really quickly?
Well, that was pretty
I don't think the infinite minigun is gonna work.
Head up to those terminals and close those doors.
Wiping out.
At the very least, this is slightly different. Slightly, ever so slightly different gameplay.
Got an uneasy feeling.
Seems like there's no collectibles or anything. Let's go ahead and take these. Blow that up. And just try not to.
They're not going away. Get one of your Ronto heads near the doors.
This thing doesn't want to work. Like, you really have to clear the whole place before you can do these puzzles. This is awful.
I like it.
And one of the droids that should have been
Don't try it.
that should have been trapped on the other side just kind of phased through the area. How am I supposed to get up here? These guys have never really had the penchant or ability to jump upward. And so they're now having us do something very different.
Sorry, I don't give ovations.
Who's still shooting
I'm
me?
starting to think we could be in deep poodoo. But what gave you that idea? The fact that we're being held prisoner by a ruthless bounty hunter, or that we're up against an army of droids?
And there's nothing over here.
Check your weapons. We've got incoming.
What am I supposed to do?
We're hardly scratching it.
There's some heavy artillery stowed away for just this type of occasion. Get it and blast that thing.
Now he tells us he must have been waiting for just this occasion. Roger this.
Aim for the head.
Apparently I have to aim really precisely for the head.
Punta. Check your ammo and let's move.
Destroy droids any way you can.
Think you've got what it takes.
Once I'm done with
Challenge me.
getting all the things that I want to get, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna skip all of this stuff. This is boring, and I kind of want to see it just to see where their effort was wasted, but there's just a problematically large amount of these quests that shouldn't be here. I'm getting a massive amount of points compared to most games. And it let me keep all those points, it seems. Interesting. In fact, this whole thing looks golden. As if I did such a good job on it, I got something above platinum.
We can take him easy, trooper. You have to pick your moments carefully.
Forget your moments, clone. Pick your targets. Here comes some more.
Wow. And the game just ends. It just ends. It's ridiculous. 8 minutes just so that they could have a
Rex,
different level.
Where are you? Rex?
Did you really think that was going to work? You must learn to quiet your mind. Be attuned to your senses.
I think I found him.
I have
That's
no
Rex, all right.
idea
Let's go.
who Rex is, but I think it's important to point out we have not played as Ahsoka and Anakin in at least an hour and a half, if not closer to 2 hours. And honestly, these are the interesting characters. These should be the two main characters. You can't have the Clone Wars cartoon, in my opinion, without them. I wonder if it's canonical for Anakin to have a purple lightsaber too, because there was a whole thing I thought about the color of the jewel that they had in their lightsabers. I suppose it's possible that they needed to get rid of Anakin and Ahsoka so that we could play as the other two Jedi people who are just platforming and jumping. I suppose that could be the case. But that's just really bad gameplay design. Am I supposed to go in here? It seems like it put a checkpoint here. And it did, but you had to walk all the way in this corner for the camera to zoom up. Man.
More clankers.
Stay where you are, Jedi.
Like, I haven't heard the phrase clankers in such a long time. Also, so it's not even a consistent term that you would expect to hear. Just gonna ignore that character. This is like a pod racing engine, or a missile or something.
Nobody does it better, Sky Guy. Except maybe me.
That's my humble Padawan.
Like, you really lose a lot of the entertaining dialogue and conversation when you get away from Anakin and Ahsoka too. Like, all the other Jedis are stoic, adult. Wow, why can you walk backwards? Like Jedi, they're serious.
Our metal friends are back.
Whereas Ahsoka can be annoying, and I still feel like she's underdressed for what I assume is her age, and I don't like the master phrase used at all on any of the characters. So all of those problems still exist. But now, in retrospect, missing them for this long. Wow, the cheat to give you more minds only gives you one more mind.
How do you get mixed up in this?
Long story, Jedi. If you want to hear it, I suggest you help us take care of these droids.
Okay, Bane. When this is over, we're gonna have a nice long chat.
I'd surrender if I were you.
I have no idea what the relationship of Cad Bane is. I suppose we'll take all of those, collect an artifact or two, kill these guys. I suppose they want me to double jump on one of these guys so I can do this. Make sure there's... Now, while I'm controlling this droid, my health was allowed to recover.
But we've got the skill.
And these force pushes are proving to be efficient ways to get through these bad fights. Hey, we got a new droid character.
The size of that thing.
It's not that big.
Looks pretty big to me, Snips.
I know this because this is what we fought at the very beginning of the game. A long time ago, remember? Like, I'm supposed to hold it down so then I can do this, so I can do this. And yeah, it feels like we're 5 hours into the game and we've gone full circle. In my opinion, we should have played as Anakin and Ahsoka at the very beginning. It doesn't feel like there's enough story to have anything but some side stories after the main game where you'd play as Obi-Wan or play as the other Jedi characters or the Clone Troopers. Splitting it all up and having us not see the Anakin Ahsoka story for several hours doesn't work. It's not good for a kid's game at the very least. It might be decent storytelling for a adult video game story. Sure.
See? What did I tell you? It wasn't that big.
That's how it's done.
We're now back to a cutscene.
That's the last of them for now.
Why is he trying to shoot them when he could have just blown up their bracelets? Maybe he was lying. And they don't blow up.
Master, no!
Explain our little arrangement to the Jedi, Trooper.
And see, we're starting to see Anakin as kind of a meaner, angry guy. But not really. The idea of Ahsoka holding back Anakin from becoming the Darth Vader is an interesting idea.
You know, my ship's not far from here. You'd prefer to stay?
Okay, get up.
When you think about the Star Wars series, you have
Slime.
you have Ahsoka and you have Anakin in episode 1.
We're getting out of here.
And as far as you know, like there's like a baby Jabba the Hutt alien.
Come with us.
We're not leaving without my bounty.
But that's like there's only 3 child characters in a cartoon series and 7 or 8 movies that I can think of. That was a very awkward way in which he was carrying what could have easily been a bomb. 6 minutes for this level. More and more we're trying to rush through all of this.
Up on that ridge we'll be able to cover the whole area. There's a lot of droids between here and there.
Yeah, and instead of continuing the interesting story, the game just wants us to play as another set of clone troopers. Maybe I have a bias against clones, but storyline-wise, I don't inherently care about them. Like, once you introduce the concept of somebody that can just be copied, and their life is assumedly of lesser value, and that's why they created the clones in the first place, is so that they would be a lesser valued soldier that could die on the battlefield. I had trouble finding the way down there. This feels like the original area we played the game in. Let's see. How am I gonna jump up? Oh. I have the hover. And the game forgot to remind me. Did I have the hover this whole time for the other instances too?
Something big is on the move out there.
Like, have Yoda come back and say, don't forget you can hover. Okay, are we gonna try and target that? I don't think this thing is hitting him. So I'm gonna opt not to try and take on the guy.
Hit with everything you got.
Apparently, I am supposed to be trying to kill this guy. And it works. Which is funny because
Come on, Boomer. Let's get
when you
moving.
think about this, why does the lightsaber attack take 3 swipes to kill the alien, kill the machine, when you could potentially just lightsaber deeper into the circuitry through the shell? And you have now a proven example
Blast 'em all around
that
the hill.
this bazooka gun is doing as much, if not more, damage to the people. This actually works, and I'm a little surprised it does. So if they needed only like one section in which you played as the clone troopers and shot a bunch of droids in the shooting gallery style,
You're not gonna like the outcome.
I would have been happy with that. But introducing this shooting gallery stuff now kind of sucks. Like, if I hadn't killed so many droids, this would be enjoyable. Now it just feels like a waste of time. Every single one of these sequences feels like it's wasting my time and just making me jump through hoops. And we're getting points, and eventually I think I will have that 100,000 points. It may take me an hour and a half though to get to that point. To have that much.
This doesn't look good. Concentrate your fire on the Octoptora.
I think I already have the upgrade that gives me more shots.
This battle isn't over until we've scrapped the last clanker.
I don't know why the game is going to take that attitude, but just to make you grind, I suppose.
The 501st never runs.
A 501. I believe that's the group of the cosplayers that dress up as stormtroopers at sci-fi conventions. One could argue that the 501st has kind of hurt male cosplayers a little bit, because
In position, General.
a lot of Star Wars fans dress up as clone troopers, stormtroopers. They cover up every bit of their body in armor. They look exactly the same as everybody else until you get really, really close and try and look at detail on their outfit. And it's kind of antithetical to the idea of cosplay. Like, when you look at the cosplay options in Star Wars for the females, everybody has different clothing, different outfits. I suppose there's a lot of people that do the Slave Leia princess thing, but you also have Princess Leia in her different outfits that you can do. And that's just in Star Wars. When you start looking outside of Star Wars and looking at sci-fi cosplay, there's tons and tons of options for girls. Very, very few options for guys. And that kind of sucks. I don't know if guys are heavily into cosplaying as much as girls either. So that's kind of the thing too. But it certainly don't feel like the 501st and everybody doing the Stormtrooper idea helps. I would try to limit and encourage people who cosplay as Stormtroopers to try something different. And to be fair, when you start adding characters from episode 7 and episode 8, you do start to see different people with different outfits, male characters. And you could have always played Luke, and you could have always done Obi-Wan too. They just aren't as much. Anyways, that's kind of a rant about nothing, which frankly this game is getting down to the point. Very slowly this game is just chipping away at my patience. It's been difficult for me to get back to this game, but I've been having a lot of problems getting back to games in general, but this is just making it worse. Like, every time I record an episode for an hour or two, I typically then take a nap and don't play for at least another 6 to 12 hours, and it's getting, there's not a lot of motivating factor to try and continue playing. But I'm not to the point where I'd rage quit. This isn't one of those games that I'd want to rage quit. It's just, I'm bored with it. Anyways, we'll get into more of that next recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.